Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed Shlita. Here we are, Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parashas Korach, for us here in the diaspora. Of course, in Eretz Yisrael, as we've been mentioning each week, there are Parsha ahead, reading Parashas Chukas, and next week, when Eretz Yisrael reads Balak, we will have a double Chukas and Balak together. So we will finally catch up and be in sync, as we should always be in sync with our brothers and sisters in Israel. So please continue davening for them, davening for Chaylei Tzva Gana Yisrael, for Shalom Echol B'Tzvah Yisrael, safety of our brothers and sisters in Israel, and we learn each day Le'ili Nishmat Ser and Daniel Shimon ben Harav Doron V'Sheli Hashem Yakum Damo. So let's continue our learning, complete the week. Dinei Isra Achilas Basar Shtiyas Yain. B'chal Isra Achilas Basar B'Tishas Hayom Kalulam Kol Sugei HaBasar. So included in the prohibition of eating meat during the 9 days, we have all categories of meat. Basar behema, basar oaf, whether it's beef, whether it's chicken. Basar teri, basar shehukva v'nimlach, whether it's fresh meat or whether it's frozen and salted. Aval dagim utarim, fish is allowed. Nogen l'hachmer gam b'tavshel shenizbal shel babasar. We're also strict when it comes to a fleishic dish, meaning if something was cooked with meat and then you're eating what was cooked with meat, even though there's no actual meat in it per se, that's also prohibited. Look dugma. So for instance, in bishlu tapuche adama in basar, if a person cooked potatoes with meat, gam es tapuche adama levadam ein lechol b'tishas hayom. So those potatoes alone, without the actual meat, but since they were cooked with meat, you shouldn't eat those during the 9 days. Because they have the flavor of meat. Bichlal isr yayin gam mitzanavim, included in the prohibition of drinking wine is also grape juice. Aval mashkos charifim keviski obira mutarim. But it's not about drinking alcohol, it's about the grape product. So having liquor or beer is allowed. Mutar lahatim tavshulim b'chometz yayin. One is allowed to flavor one's cooked dishes with vinegar, wine vinegar. Mutar lechol b'tishas hayom minei ma'afesh irvu bi'isasam yayin. And one is allowed to eat during the 9 days different types of baked goods that maybe had some wine mixed into it, because the wine is not tasted inside of those baked goods. However, when one is baking, one should not intentionally place wine in the bread or in the dough. I'm not sure who puts wine in dough, but then again, what do I know about cooking? Interesting note here also about cognac, which is made out of wine and other things. Different opinions regarding that. That's note number 9. Chola v'afilu chola ma'at. So someone who is ill, even if he's a little bit ill, she'achilas basar she'siyas yain mo'ilo lo, r'shoy lo'ochlam. If eating meat or drinking wine will help this person, even if he's a little bit chola, you're allowed to eat. V'chein mutar li'oledes toch shloshim yom leidasa. Also, a woman who has just given birth within 30 days, she's allowed lechol bazar kadei lehis chazek, to eat meat so that she can regain her strength. And also a woman who is nursing, and if she needs the meat to help strengthen her flow of milk, this would be allowed. When making Havdalah on Motzai Shabbos of the Shabbos right before Tisha B'Av, which is called Shabbos Chazon, we'll see more about that as we go on later, one is allowed to drink the wine from Havdalah, and you could even drink the entire cup of wine. It's better to use grape juice, which doesn't give a tremendous amount of simcha. Here, in note number 10, he quotes the popular minhag of Ashkenaz that we give the wine to a katan. We give the wine to a minor to drink so that we don't have this problem. But again, we're talking about a davar shal mitzvah. You're not drinking wine for simply drinking for a mitzvah, so we try to mitigate that. But one can certainly drink the wine, or the suggestions in the note also, perhaps, to have what's called chamar medina, to have other beverages, perhaps a beer or orange juice or tea or something like that to make havdalah. So different customs, different followings, but we certainly know what we're supposed to do as we learn, as we go on. So we want to wish everybody a good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom Barach. Please continue davening for Chalei Tzva Gana Yisrael, for Shalom Echol B'Tzvah Yisrael. Safety for brothers and sisters in Israel. Nishmat Ser and Daniel Shimon ben Harav Doron V'Sheli Hashem. Thank you so much for learning with us this week. A great Shabbos, peaceful and restful Shabbos. We'll see you here next week.